Hi guys, this is Isaac from Mix Advice, and in this series I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know to get your kick drums sounding as good as they possibly can do with your home recordings. If you want them to sound like this, or like this, then keep on watching and let's dive straight in. In this one we're going to be looking at phase alignment and how important it is to make sure your kicks sound as good as they possibly can do in your home recordings. And just to make that point, what I've done is I've got the original kick drum sound and I've duplicated it. It's exactly the same sound, and what I've done is I've added a gain plugin with the phase invert button, and what we're going to do is just bring that in and out. Now remembering these are exactly the same signals, okay, so let's take a listen to it. Okay, now we have complete silence. That's because both signals are completely cancelling one another out. Let's bring it back in. We can hear it again. This isn't the case with the kick and the overheads because they are different sounds, but it is important that you get them in phase so they sound as powerful as possible in the mix. That's what we're going to move on to next. Okay, so I've just got the kick and the overheads aligned here in my session. Now, when you're doing this by ear, it's really important to listen to what sounds most centered rather than what you might think sounds best in solo. What sounds more centered will be what is in phase. When you get working on the rest of the mix, if it's out of phase, you're going to really struggle to get a really good kick drum sound. So let's take a listen to the differences. Okay, so this is as is. Let's bring it out of phase. You hear it sounds a lot more stereo. Bring it back into phase. Sounds a lot more centered now, and that's what you're looking for. So lo and behold, we were right. The kick and the overheads are in phase, and we know this by just analyzing the peaks and the troughs in the signal. So for example, you've got this trough in the kick there, which aligns to the trough in the overheads, peak in the overheads, which aligns to the peak in the kick. The great thing about a DAW is you can just move it around until you know that it's in phase. So for example, pulling this out of phase now, so that peak and that trough are aligned with one another now, which is not what we want. What we want is the peak and the troughs to be aligned. So again, there's no excuse if you're using a DAW. It's easy to do. You can just eyeball it. It's important to do it across the whole of the kit to make sure that everything sounds as good as possible when you get to the mix phase.